to do is, hang on, I did not bring up my sheet either. Tell you what, Emily, how about if you take it away?
Yes. Okay. So we are going to do Reco just a little different. We're switching it up on everybody. So what I want you to do is everybody should have their numbers of how many bookings they had, how much sales they had, and how many team members or times you shared the business. So down at the bottom, there is a chat button. Do you see chat? Okay. And then you have the option to chat with different people. So you can change it to where you chat to, and I want you to find Emily Lewis, and you're going to chat to me, and you're going to type your numbers in there just for me to see. Okay, so go ahead and put those numbers in there. So if you added a new team member this week, if you open your store and sold some products, you are putting that in the chat directly to me, and we will recognize you at the end. Okay. You good, Maureen?
Yes, good to go. Okay, so now we are going to have the beautiful Marian Forrest, and she is going to share with us leadership skills, because the difference between those who earn cars and step into leadership is not that they squirt the trays oh so much better. It is that they think differently and they believe differently. And so she is going to share with you some new ways of thinking and different ideas to help expand what you believe. Marian Forrest.
It's completely the trays, actually. It's all in how you squirt the product, right? No, not at all. We all do it the same. Well, I am really excited to share with y'all kind of, whoa, I just got big really fast.
You can
So
change it on your screen and it won't mess anything up.
What?
You can change it on your screen and it won't mess anything up.
It just happened really fast. Okay, now I can see everybody. Yay. So I am really excited to kind of just talk with you guys. I don't know, did y'all have a wonderful holiday? Did anybody have a great holiday? Yeah, I did too. It was so good. And I actually got to spend time with my brother and sister-in-law from Portland, Oregon. So it was wonderful. And for the first time in my Mary Kay business, that I have been doing Pink Friday sales, which I think this is the 9th year I've done Pink Friday sales. It was the first time I did it where I was not home. So that was crazy. And while I did not have the highest Pink Friday sale I've ever had, I still hit over $2,000. So I'm pretty stoked about that. When you're thinking, I really didn't spend much time here, this was worth it. Yes, it was, especially because I got to hang out with my family. And really, that's kind of part of what I want to talk about is I want to talk, I know that sounds weird, like family. Yes, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about priority management, because we have been talking about discipline, and I really use the word grit, like that part of like digging deep and doing the things. But at some point we got to kind of look around and look kind of at a 10,000 foot and go, what are our priorities? Because the truth is Mary Kay always said, you know, time management is part of the equation of importance. You've got to have manage your time. But the truth is we all have 24 hours. It's not that you really manage the time, you manage the priorities that fit into the time. And so I want to talk, I've got 4 things to talk about in this priority management. And I think the first thing, that if you have not taken an inventory of what is important to you, this is like, do not pass go, do not collect $200. You're not going back around the Monopoly board. Don't do this like today, tomorrow, like do it now, do it now. is take an inventory of answering that question of what is important to me. You know, is it the recognition? Is it the financial freedom? Is it being able to buy the things for my family that I want to buy? What is it that's important? And I can say with all honesty that it's all been important to me, but it changes over time. Right now, I want to have the financial freedom that when my daughter from college calls me and says, "Hey, so I'm going to Rome this summer, not in 2 summers." I want to know that I've got the financial to be able to pay for all of that. So, like, those are the things that are important. I mean, if we're really honest, I have lots of medical bills. Most of you guys know I have some pretty significant chronic illnesses. So, like, I could take a couple of vacations on my medical bills. Medical bills or vacations? It's a really big toss up for me, but I'm going to go ahead and pay the medical bills. But that's, so I'm not motivated by paying medical bills though, so I create things to make that. So I'm going to talk about that in a little while. But what is important to you? What is it that, like, I think this goes back to the why. Why are you doing Mary Kay? Is it just to get your products at cost? Is it to give you a chance for something more? What is it that's driving you on the daily? And if it's like a big goal, that's great. Let's break it down. What would be something you want? So here is, like, as cheesy as this might sound, this is my goal for this month. I need $100 to pay for some extra paint because my hallway and foyer are getting repainted. They are this ugly brown. I don't know why I picked that color back in the day. It's really dark. There's no natural light in there. I'm over it. It's going white. Okay. It's actually called Snowbound. That's the color it's going. I'm so excited. I've got a daughter that's coming home. She can be put to work because I pay for all her bills. So I am crazy excited because she's going to get excited about painting. So $100. So all of the other things that I pay for, I'm like, okay, what do I got to do to get $100 more for me to pay for Snowbound? Okay. That was just one thing. Also, I really want something cute to go on my mantle. And I'm really over the Christmas decorations that I have on my mantle. So I'm doing that. Do you see how now it's right now? What can I do this month to make that happen? What's important to me? I want my mantle to look cute. I have painted and made my living room look amazing. Now I want my mantle to be cute. So do you see how that works? And Maureen and Emily are like smiling really big because they have watched me through this progression of redoing my living room. But do you guys see? I'm excited. Like, I'm excited to sell some product so that I can do those things. Okay. That's what's important to me. It does not have to be noble. I think Maureen says this to me on a regular basis, but it does have to motivate you. Okay. So what's important to you? That's number one. Number two, what do I do with my time? This is another take an inventory. Are you proactive in your week or are you reactive? Proactive people have set a plan and then work the plan. That does not mean that you get the plan done 100% or even that it looks like that. We have something in Mary Kay Ash. Autobiography talks about a weekly plan sheet. Plan your work and work your plan. This is so important, y'all. What does your weekly plan sheet look like? Is it in a book? Is it on a computer? Are you changing it every week? A schedule is, this is what I generally do every week. A weekly plan is, this is what is happening this week. Okay? Super important. Are you being proactive people, right? If you're proactive, that means you planned it. And then when life happens, because it happens every single day, whatever you plan for, it is not always going to go 100%. But here's the thing that is so important to know. Proactive people, I believe, get at least 30% more done on a daily basis than reactive people. Are y'all following? Like, that's a lot on a daily basis. So it is so important that you are thinking about that time and how you want to plan it. It's not always going to go, like, just understand it's not going to go as it says. It is not rigid, it's flexible. But when you've thought through it, then you can flex throughout that time. I used to color code. I still do sometimes, and I'm getting back to color coding because I found some really cute markers, and that's what I needed in my life to make the color coding happen again. But I used to color code every single week because I couldn't shut Mary Kay off in my mind. I couldn't shut it down. And so I went and I started doing a weekly plan sheet where it was colors. And when it got off of pink or green, because green was my IPA working time and pink was all my other Mary Kay time. But when it got off those two colors, then I couldn't, I literally played a game with myself that I could no longer think about Mary Kay. What we think about in that time doesn't necessarily mean we're actually working it. So keep that in mind as you're doing a weekly plan sheet. Okay. So what are you doing with your time? Number 3, how do I prioritize it? And this really goes back again to the plan your work, work your plan, but how are you doing that 6 most important list? I think Maureen read the story of Ivy Lee and just talking about that 6 most important list, going in, talking to all the executives, and saying, hey, if you just put the 6 most important things in order of importance every single day and do them the next day, like, it will change what you do. How many of us are doing a 6 most important list consistently? Okay. Yeah. Notice that at least 2 of the directors have their hands up. Isn't that interesting? It's the true story. It's just as simple as, I mean, I have a book and I write them down every single day, right up here. 6 most, every single day. I write them down. Sometimes I have more than 6. I mean, Maureen showed a great sheet last week that is amazing for that. I've used that for years. I used to just put it in a 3-ring binder, and that's what I did. I've just started using this. This is my 3rd year to use this book. It already has the 6 most in it. I love it. It's by Soul Planner. If you want like a year long altogether, it's a great book. But I don't make any money for sharing that with you. You don't have to use it to be successful. Okay. But I really do love it. But that 6 most important list is a game changer because now you have a pinpoint focus on what you're going to do the next day. It's actually 6 focuses, but you start with number 1, get her done. Okay. It makes such a difference. It makes such a difference in getting things done. Okay. I just lost my piece of paper. I moved that. I moved it. And now, hold on. Oh, here it is. I'm like, whew, do you guys, I wish I could show you my desk right now. There are so many sales tickets on my desk and I have them all in piles of like, I've sent an invoice. I've already done CDS. I haven't. I need to call her. It's such a good problem to have. Okay. So 6 most important list. If you have any questions about that, I'd love to share. You guys, I am so passionate about these things. And let me just, before I get to number 4, I'm going to explain to you why I'm so passionate about this. I function literally at about 30% of what I functioned when I started this business. But I can be very honest with you that most of the time I get just as much done as what I did when I first started this business, because I had to learn how to not just manage my priorities, but manage my energy. And so I just want to say, it does not matter if you have an extra job. It does not matter if you've got all kinds of crazy life going on. These two things alone, weekly plan sheet, 6 most important list, figuring out what is important to you, those things alone will allow you to do anything you want to do. And really, when I hit number 4, then you're going to know. And I mean that like from the bottom of my heart. Like, these are things that you can do. You don't have to have tons of extra time, tons of energy. I'm not saying that you don't have to have time. You still have to have it, right? But you can prioritize that to make that work for you. So this is the number 4. I believe with my whole heart that if you do these first 3, this number 4 is the thing that makes the magic happen. And it is both the grace and the grit. That when life happens, you give yourself grace. You don't rigidly hold on. You gotta, so I don't know if you guys watch Disney movies at all. But there was a short and it was called Boundin'. And it was about a jackalope. Well, actually, it was about a sheep. There was a jackalope in it. Sorry, I get confused. But there's a sheep and he gets sheared and he had to learn how to get over being sheared. And he started learning how to bounce, the bounce back ability, bound, bound, bound and rebound, bound, bound, bound and rebound. That is how to learn how to do life and do it well. That is where grace comes in. To have bounce back ability, to pivot quickly, it is all about the rebound. Okay? In basketball, I don't even play basketball. I was never good at basketball. My hand-eye coordination is really not that great. But in basketball, it was really more about the rebound than it was ever about the shooting the basket, because you're not always going to hit the basket, right? But it was who got the rebound that made it work. It's the same thing in our business. So that's the grace part. But the grit part is the being willing to do the little incremental work. Maureen's been talking about this for weeks. It's not the big, oh yeah, I did a 20 calls, I did a 50 calls, I did 100 calls. That's all great. I mean, I'll be honest, my first years, that's really what I did, because I hated making calls on the daily. I just hated it. And I did a lot of this. Now, I did a lot of this at a higher level, but I did a lot of this. I did a lot of roller coastering. But it really is the small incremental, getting it done, being part of the Din Club. Do it now, do it now, do it now. But I think the other thing that I really learned is the game. And I want to explain this because I'm realizing that this is how I have stayed where I am, but also moved forward in my business. And I'll be really honest with you guys. I'm going to tell you this story. I remember Maureen having this conversation with me. I think I was in DIQ. So this was 472 years ago, because that's how long it feels. Oh, I'm just kidding. And she's like, you just got to play a game. And I'm like, game? Because at that point, I have a master's degree in speech pathology. I don't have to play games. You know, I didn't ever say that to her, that I don't have to play games. But in my head, that's what I was telling myself. I was giving myself an excuse. And then I remember, because this is how it all came together for me. I remember one of the boys, because like I was like perpetually pregnant or breastfeeding children for like a 4-year stint. Because I had Rowan and then I got pregnant again, surprise. And so it was just like, I just remember it was just babies all the time. And I wanted this high chair that was super fancy. Y'all, I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but it was called Trip Trap Stoke. It was very fancy. It was like Swedish, very bougie. But I liked it. It was clean. It was functional. It spoke my language. And it was way too expensive for a high chair. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna add 5 new team members. And when I add 5 new team members, I'm gonna get this for myself. And guess what, y'all? I think that was the first time I gold medaled. And then it came down to a bougie coffee maker. And if you know me, you know that I drink a lot of coffee and I like a lot of coffee. And it's part of my prescription from my liver doctor to drink a lot of coffee. Okay. And it was like a really, really bougie $300 coffee maker. Y'all, it really does make nice coffee. But again, it was like, my unit has got to do $10,000. And when we do, I'm going to get that for myself. And guess what? We did it. But here's what I'm trying to tell you is I had to play the game that I would run. That no matter what more other people were doing, I was willing to do the work to get there. Those were results oriented for me. Maybe it's not results oriented. Maybe it's action oriented for you. It does not matter. Again, doesn't have to be noble. Whatever your thing is, maybe it's new pillows. Because y'all, in some of my worst months where I was real sick and I was going in and out of the hospital, even in these 1 month, it was new pillows because I was like, these pillows are real old. And I put my head on it every single day. And you can get pillows at Sam's for like, I don't know, $15, but that's okay because it was the game I had to play. So I knew I would do the work. Do you see? Grace and grit in the game. And so what is important? And those 1 and 4 tie together. How am I making a plan and working it? Right? How am I prioritizing my time with my 6 most important list? And I'm going to show you guys this game. And you can actually get this on cindywilliamsnsd.com. It's still up, y'all. And you have to have a password, and the password is All-Star. But this is a monthly sales goal tracking sheet. And I mean, it is like, oh, put your picture here. I just wrote the things. Christmas decorations, I want $100. Paint, I want $100. And so I am like, it gives you what I'm saving for. I literally, for this month, wrote fun stuff. That's it. I wrote fun stuff. What I need to profit, how much retail I need to do to get that profit. And for me, the profit is literally what I have to pay for my bills. I have lots of bills, so I have a lot to pay, but it's what I pay for my bills. And then it has trackers on it. And so maybe it's a trip. Maybe it's a new bedroom suit. Maybe it's to pay for your kids to go somewhere, camp for the summer. I mean, I know it's All-Star. For the consultant resources. This is under consultant resources. Maybe it's to pay off some debt. I will say this, I had to put the little things for me to pay off my medical bills. I had to put the little things. So for me, $100 here or there isn't a lot, but I had to do the game for myself so that I could be excited about paying the medical bills, because nobody's excited about paying medical bills. I'm real thankful for them. I'm so grateful for doctors. Still not excited to pay for them. So I share that with you because I had to physically get into the game. Now, I'll be honest, you can see I did not chart this, but on the back, I have all of my sales and like even my discount that I'm giving. So I'm keeping up with that for that, because this is my retail, this is my discounts. My number still has to be without the discount. Okay. So, but when you look at what your wholesale should be, your wholesale needs to be the full retail. Did y'all follow that? So I only give myself, so your retail needs to be without discounts so that you know, because half is what your wholesale is. If not, you're going to decrease your inventory. If you have inventory, you want to keep it up because it'll go away real fast if you're having some sales. So what I do is I subtract that from my total for what I need retail, but I add this on here for what I need to order for my wholesale order. Does that make sense now? Okay, good. Okay, so your goal is to find out what's important to you and have fun with it and go run.
Great job, Marion. Thank you so very much. That was amazing. So it is about priority. It is about taking time to think about what that priority is when life happens, pivoting, and absolutely running full out towards what it is that is on your heart. And if you don't have anything on your heart, take the time to figure it out, because that will be the gasoline on your fire. Allow it to be that. So thank you. Does anyone have any questions for her before we jump into the breakout rooms? Okie doke. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to, oh, yes.
We got to announce our queens.
Yes, please do that.
Okay, so I tallied up everybody's numbers. So we're going to start with bookings. So we had a three-way tie for second place. Three-way tie for second place. With one booking, we had Stormy, Kinsey, and Heather Kusno. Woo! Congratulations. And then our queen of bookings was Melissa with 4.
Yeah.
Congratulations, ladies. And then selling, our queen of selling was Lindsay Breeding. Congratulations with 362.40. Congratulations, Lindsay. I guess I went backwards. I announced first. Second place was Melissa with 340. Third was Heather Kusno with 250. Woo! And fourth was Stormy Lee. Woo! Congratulations, ladies. Charger in my bag. Thanks. And then for sharing, we had Stormy Lee shared the business with one person this week. Congratulations. And we have Melissa Runyon is our queen. She's helping me with the charger because my computer's about to die.
She's bringing back a crown. No, a charger.
No, a charger.
So close.
I do have a medal here for her because she has bronze medal this month so far. So we've got a medal over here from Melissa. But Keita is on tonight as a new consultant, and she is Melissa's brand new consultant this week. So congratulations, ladies.
Welcome, Keita. We are so glad you are here. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to break out into the individual directors' rooms, and we're going to have individual unit meetings. So I believe that those are set. For those of you who don't know, you're going to click the More button and then go into the breakout room of your director. There we go.
If you can't find it, unmute and I can send you over there.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I can help you, Stormy.
Thanks.
I think I need help too. I can't find it.
I will help you. Let me
Yeah,
turn
it's
off my face.
Monica. I need help as well. Thank you.
Oh, I've got you, ladies. If you are watching on Facebook, now is the time for you to hop on Zoom. Join our Zoom so you can join your individual unit meeting.
Okay.
Okay. Monica, you are in Maureen's, correct? Oh, she's already gone. She figured it out.